All right, we are back and working on another project. So got this trailer here we're gonna be working on today. This is Chelsea's parents' trailer. They've been letting us use it to move some stuff around. So in return, I'm gonna try to clean up some of the stuff on here before we give it back to them. So used to be a boat trailer. They turned it into basically like a landscaping trailer essentially. Added in all the wood and everything. Used to have bunks on it for, I guess, a smaller boat, but it works great. Just needs some TLC around the edges for it to kind of clean it up a bit. I'm not going to do much with painting it or anything for now, but none of the lights are working on it. You can see we've had to cut and extend these wires quite a bit. Also found all these are completely cut off right here, so makes sense why we don't have any lights on it. But I'm going to go through, redo all the lights on it, fix that up. Try to clean up some of this. The jack's all loose on it, so that's kind of a pain. And then the other main thing, which you might have noticed with this strap here, it's got a removable gate on the back. However, if you don't put this strap on and pinch the sides of the trailer against the gate falls out. So I ended up getting a couple things for this. First thing I'll show you would be the latches for it. I want to put some type of an adjustable latch here on the outside of it. But I want it to grab, actually I think it'll probably be easier to put this on here. Put that on the gate, and then I have these that I'll end up using. So that way I can clamp it and pull it together. So that'll help hold that gate together. That way you don't have to have this ratchet strap hanging off the back. Another thing, they had to put these red poles on the back. It's kind of hard for them to see the back corners of the trailer at night when they're backing it up. So that gives you a nice little visual. It's kind of a pretty long but narrow trailer, so they put that on there. Something I'm going to add on is these. I'm just going to add little clearance lights, so we'll run those through this bracket, and we'll put those up here just so it has a little red dot as another visual. The red wood during the daytime helps out, but at night not the greatest. There's no ratchet points for this trailer, so you can see we're kind of just clamping it on here, which is peeling this stuff up, which is kind of a pain. So I got these, just little loops. I'll end up bolting a couple on here. That way you have some type of a point for you to clip onto and ratchet strap stuff down. And then just a whole new light set. Got a whole new spool of wire, all new lights. I don't even think it has these lights on it, but not gonna go crazy, but definitely want to clean it up a little bit just so that way it's a little bit more usable for them once we give it back to them. So we will redo all that and get this thing going again. Couple other things real quick, just an update for you. Finally bought a new out drive for the boat. Well, new to me. So we got that 2 weeks ago. So we're gonna be getting ready to fix that boat up and hopefully get that back on the water here soon. It's so expensive, so that's why I kind of wait a little bit, and with it being wintertime, there really wasn't much of a rush for me to go through and get that, but got a new one. I want to clean this one up and paint it just like we did with the other one before it broke. So we'll get that all fixed up. A couple other things we're going to be doing soon. We're going to be making a big outdoor like raised bed garden over there. So I have a video out on that. And then we actually just ordered some chickens. So we're going to have chickens and quails pretty soon. So eventually we'll be building a big chicken coop out there. It's going to be pretty large to fit the amount of chickens and quails we are looking to get. So going to have a video out for that. That one's probably going to be a couple videos long. That'll be our first time building a chicken coop, so that'll be interesting. And then besides that, finally got the garage cleared out. So got the whole trailer in here, which is nice. Cleared all this junk out that was in this back corner. Still have a couple things I got to figure out where to put it all, but can finally use this workbench. Got all that stuff cleared up and set up. And then something I'm still working on, got to get some more plywood. I got these bins from Harbor Freight and use those to organize all the different parts and fuses and electrical connectors and all that type of stuff. And ended up slotting them so that way they're 2 deep. Put one in the front, one in the back, and you can pull out whichever one you want. You don't have to grab all of them down in order to get to it. So made a second set over here. I got to get some more bins to fill this section up, and then I have these little shorter ones. I'm going to end up building essentially another one over here that's narrower just for those little ones. So coming along nice. Finally getting to build out things in here and make it fit better to how I want it. So pretty excited about that. But yeah, let's I guess we'll just jump into this. There's a couple other little things I'm going to do, like some of these wood pieces are kind of hanging off, but it's been a while since we had a video out, so I figured I'd take a video of some of this stuff. It's just been too damn cold to record anything, so haven't really done a ton. We've been outside cleaning stuff up, but it's not stuff worth putting videos together on. So we'll set the tripod up, we'll start ripping all the old stuff off, and then we'll get ready to start throwing on the new parts. All right, we got all the lights redone, all new wiring, new lead there on the front, and we ended up putting in all those securement hooks. So got everything rewrapped here. This is super long. The setup he has on this truck, he had to extend it in the past, so made it nice and long. That way it reaches still. I need to finish figuring out what to do with that chain. Then I got to reattach the actual chains for it still. I might end up getting a different one. That one's only like a single one, but everything up front's good. Tighten up the jack. That's all tidy now. Ended up going with these little 3/4 inch marker lights that I had instead of those big rectangular ones. Point there to ratchet strap to. Another one back here. And again, since this is a boat trailer, well, was a boat trailer, the lights are a little crooked underneath the bottom here, but it is what it is. They're on there. That's where the holes are at. So they're a little bit crooked. Not the end of the world. Tow hook here, or I'm sorry, a ratchet strap point, same thing here, another light. I wanted to put more up front, but because it's an old boat trailer, there's not, I mean, I could put one underneath there and you'd have to reach all the way under for it. It'd be better if I can get something that can like kind of lag bolt into the wood, but we'll leave it for now. At least it's a good starting point. I have extra ones of these loops still, so worst case, circle back to it later and we can put those back on. So those are the ones we didn't use the license plate bracket. There's really no point with how low the trailer is already. There's already a mount underneath there we're using. And then last thing is little marker lights. So again, kind of hard to see the back end of this with how narrow it is. So a little marker light at the top on both sides. Not a brake light, it's just going to be on with the running lights. That way at least it gives you some kind of a point to look at when you're backing up. So next thing is going to be, well, I guess last thing is going to be figuring out this gate. So the problem is this. You can see that these gates are super flimsy. So if you don't strap this and pull it together, this gate could come out. So right now, been using the ratchet strap for it. It works, kind of a pain. You got to always have a strap hanging off the back of it. So my plan, which my original plan isn't actually going to work. So I have to change it up a little bit. But I wanted to essentially put that there, well, actually I think we're gonna use this one. And I wanted to put that here. So that way you can use the adjustment in this, and we dropped it. But you can use the adjustment in this, you can grab onto the side of it and then pull it together like that and clamp it together shut. That way it'll hold it together without having to use a ratchet strap. It'll be easy, you can literally just unbuckle this, unloop it, comes off with the gate, no problem at all. Only issue, this one's actually pretty level, so that's fine. Over here is actually really off. But we can, worst case, I can just adjust this and just have it come up a little bit more with those star bits. Yeah, we'll do that. I'll take those 2 screws out, pull that wood up, and re-screw it in. That way it gets it a little more even. That way it'll line up better. So let me grab a star bit for that, and I'll get that off real quick. All right, much better. So just pull those 2 out, froze it up a little bit, and now it is perfectly flat with that. So let's start off with lining all this stuff up, and we'll get everything set up. Should be pretty easy. Why do I keep dropping it in there? The one thing I gotta be careful with is I don't want this to like hang down and then block it from coming in. So it's gonna have to be sort of back a little bit. That way it's kind of arched up a little bit. So let's start with screwing that in, and then we'll kind of go from there and figure it out. Luckily these, that's why I bought like 3 different sets of these. I bought this set because I liked that it had the adjustment in the latch. And then I bought this set because I liked these brackets better, which is what I needed. Then I didn't like how small these were, so then I bought this set, which has a nice longer one. Had no clue how this was gonna work. I wanted to actually get it here in person and try to figure it out, so we're kind of matching all the sets together. But let's start throwing these side pieces on and go from there. All right, that should work. All right, I don't know if the other side is gonna work. I'm gonna have to redo it. This one's, well, I guess I could actually lower that back down. The other side now is too high. But all right, let's look at this. I wanna set these up so they're kind of in the middle. That way I got a good bit of adjustment in both ways before I put it on there. That way I can go both ways with it if I need to make any adjustments. So if we line this up, so I'm worried as you're going down the road that might just slide up like that and fall off. But what if I actually did this? Yeah, we're gonna do that instead. That actually is much better. So that'll give me more of a lip for the latch to grab on. So yeah, all right, let's switch and do that now. That's why I bought a couple different sets. I can mess around with them and see what works best. All right, cool. Yeah, I think that's gonna work out much better. Oh, that's solid. There ain't no way that's coming off. It's kind of hard to get it on there at first, but maybe not. Yeah, that's solid. That's not moving. Sweet. Let's do that for the other side. I don't know why this side bowed out so much. Doesn't look like it's that crooked. Wow, that is solid. And that won't, I don't think that'll, well, maybe, but it like snaps in, so I don't think that'll pop up either while you're driving. All right, that came out awesome. That really latches in there and holds it. That is like really solid. I was worried it wasn't gonna be strong enough, but that is definitely strong enough. When I wanted to do it in the beginning, I was gonna put the latch here and the hook here, so it kind of pulled that way. That wouldn't work, just because of where I didn't realize I had these raised pieces of wood. But yeah, putting it right on the top, that works out great. And now this gate is locked in, so don't worry about anything there. But all right, cool. We'll test out the lights tomorrow, I guess, once we can get it out of the garage, get the Jeep up in front of it. That way we can test everything out, but we'll make sure that's good. And I think in this video, I got to remake, hard to see it because it's nighttime out, but those cane rods that hold the gate in place once it's shut. I have like 12-inch ones and they are not big enough. So there is white, I think it's 1/2 inch, 3/4 inch. I got more conduit for them to go into, and then inside of them there is 2 10-foot rods of 1/2 inch round stock. So I'm gonna make 2, I don't think 5 foot is really necessary, but like 2 4-foot ones or something. That way I can fix that. We're having problems now where the wind starts blowing and the rod rips out of the ground because it's only 12 inches, so it's super small. And then once it goes into the ground, I can only have one loop that it goes through on the gate, so it constantly can move back and forth. So I'm gonna make longer ones, so that way they can go down into the ground a good bit and then still have 2 contact points on the gate to hold it in place. That way it won't blow open. So nothing crazy. I'm probably not even gonna install them, but I gotta cut them down, and then bending them isn't gonna be, I don't really have any way to heat it up that hot to get it to bend at like a 90. So we'll probably end up cutting it and then just kind of welding it into an L. It's not going to be anything crazy, but these rods, if you look online, one of these rods for like a 36-inch rod, I think was $30, something around there. I got 2 10-foot bars from a steel shop around here for $13. So I got 20 feet of steel for significantly cheaper than getting 36 inches of it just bent in an L. So we'll get that out later. Can't do it today just because how late it is, but we'll get that out, cut them down, bend them, figure out how to make it fit out there, and then we'll go from there. I don't know if we're gonna actually set them up, but at least get them all set up. But that's gonna be all for today. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. Well, let me know if you guys see it. We got no lights at all. No clearance lights, no marker lights, no blinkers, no brake lights. Makes me think it is a ground problem. Let's test the Jeep first, make sure the Jeep actually has power, and then we'll work our way onto the trailer. All right, we're getting power out of all those. So definitely a ground issue, which is weird. All right, let's pop this ground off and we'll grind it down a little bit and we'll see if it's just a connection. I got nothing. That's crazy. So maybe we got a bad connection here. All right, so I figured it out. Car is grounded to the tongue of the trailer here. This trailer is on a pin, so you can pull this pin and the whole trailer tips back. It's like a dump body essentially, so the ground isn't passing from the tongue to the back of the trailer where all the lights are actually grounded to. So I just kind of jumped in this little brown and green wire on the ground, and I ran it back to here. And if I tap this on something back here, you can see ground works now. All the lights work, marker lights are working. The only one I really can't see is that other left side blinker, but I'm pretty confident it's working. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna end up tapping this wire in to the little connector there, and then I'm just gonna run another ground wire through the tongue, and then I'll attach it to the rest of the wires, and then I'll end up just putting another little loop on the back somewhere just to basically jump the ground to the back of the trailer. So simple fix, not too nothing too crazy. I don't know why I didn't think about that, but I'm not used to working on dump trailers like that, so it's not something that came to mind. But yeah, we'll run that real quick, and then we should be all set. All right, a few minutes later, looped in another ground, ran through the back of the trailer, tapped it back in where I actually have this light grounded in at. Now that grounds out the whole rear of the trailer, and we got lights. So we got everything up and running. Got marker lights, blinkers, and let me make sure this one's on. Yeah, everything is good. Those clearance lights are gonna be pretty neat. You can actually see them from front and the back. You can see through the light a little bit, but not the end of the world. I think that's gonna be really helpful, especially when they're backing this thing up at night. That way, at a quick glance, you can see the top points where the trailers are. So, or the top point where the back corner of the trailer is. But sweet, everything is looking good. Trailer is ready to go now. Last thing this thing needs is just some paint, but we're not gonna be doing that right now, just because of how cold out it is, and don't really want to spend the time grinding it down and painting it right now, especially not in the garage. So maybe this summer we'll help out with some of that. But I did say we're gonna work on making those gate latches. I wasn't anticipating the lights not working, so I don't think we're gonna do that in this video, but just to show you what we're gonna do. This is what we have now, and they're a pain in the ass to get out, for one, and that's how short they are. So with it only being that short, for it to go into the ground, come on, for it to go into the ground, all right, you get the point. For it to go into the ground, you can only put one latch on. So because you only have one latch, it allows it to just sway back and forth. So in the wind, it does exactly that. It ends up ripping them out, and then gates blow wide open. The latch actually ripped on the first one I put on, so I had to put on a little thicker one. And now we're using rebar to literally hold these things shut, because we get a ton of wind coming off the field, and this is the first thing that gets hit with it. So you can see this one, I actually just took them out because of how horrible it was. But it, oh yeah, okay, cool. It broke the new ones too. I had to put bigger ones on here. Luckily I found these in the garage, but it snapped those too, so it's not working. But we're gonna end up, I don't know what we're doing over here just yet, but over there we're gonna frame out and put some stone down. With that, I think I would like to eventually continue all the stone out through the side here and then back through here for a couple reasons. One, it'll get rid of all the dirt, so that way it won't be as muddy. Two, I don't have to worry about trying to grow grass over here for parking these trailers on top of it. You know, having grass growing here isn't gonna be the best option anyway, since it's gonna be parked on top of it and it's gonna kill it off anyway. So would like to stone all this in. I'd like to asphalt it in, but that's very expensive. So we'll start off with stone. So I want to get a game plan, frame all this stuff out. When I do that, I think I'm going to concrete those little PVC pipes in the ground. That way it has a solid piece that goes into it, because with this loose dirt, as soon as it starts to move, it wiggles its way out. You can see how they wiggle back and forth. So put a little bit of concrete down there and call it a day. But we'll end this video here. Hope you guys are enjoying it. A ton of stuff coming up. Got a video I'm actually working on right now for the garden already. Boat parts are in here, so we got all the stuff to redo that, and then a chicken coop coming up soon. So stay tuned. Hope you guys are enjoying it, and see you next time.